Sex Education Season 4 was supposed to be the grand finale of one of Netflix's best original series. Instead, however, this season was a letdown for fans who invested in the show for the past 3 seasons. I would like to start this off by saying that Sex Education is, and probably still will be, one of my favorite Netflix original series. One of the main problems, however, with Season 4 is that the setting and the tone of the show drastically change. The previous seasons were set at Moordale Secondary School, where sex therapist Otis Milburn would help out different high schoolers with their identity struggles and things that they're experiencing in the bedroom. Sex Education was able to balance humor and drama with a nice nuance and sensitivity, tackling topics such as consent, abortion, and mental health struggles. In Season 4, the school is sold to local developers, and most of the scenes are taking place at Cavendish College. While this may sound like a good idea in theory, most of the changes are not for the better. Much of the charm and the personality of the first 3 seasons are lost here for more boring and bland scenes, which become preachy and predictable. We are also introduced to a plethora of new characters in this season, including Aisha, a deaf character, 2 genderqueer students in Abby and Roman, as well as Sarah, a new sex therapist who's challenging Otis, as well as Cal, who we've already seen in Season 3. These new characters took up so much screen time, and many of the main characters that we know and love are relegated to the background. Otis, Maeve, Eric, Ruby, Amy, and Jackson, they all have their own different subplots throughout the season, but they ultimately do feel rushed and unsatisfying. Here's where I'm about to go into a bit of a spoiler territory, so consider this your warning. For instance, Otis and Maeve finally got together after 3 seasons of will they or won't they tension, but ultimately, in this season, when they get together, it's short-lived. Eric struggled to reconcile his faith with his sexuality, but this was ultimately clouded by his toxic relationship with Adam. Ruby reveals her vulnerable side to Otis, but she's ultimately rejected and put to the background of this season. I think the best part of this season, however, comes from the Groff family, but more in particular, Professor Groff, who we get to see a more vulnerable side as both a husband and a father. This also includes quite a hilarious scene including Viagra that I was definitely chuckling at. All these stories could have been more interesting and compelling if they were given the depth and the time needed to be that. Ultimately, however, this season ended up feeling a bit rushed and superficial. The finale also committed a cardinal sin in my eyes by making the side characters once again the star of the show. The final season of Sex Education was a disappointment, as it left loyal fans wanting more from the main characters and ultimately felt rushed and unsatisfying. For the final season of Sex Education, I think the highest that I can go here is a 2.5 out of 5 stars. This isn't my overall feeling as the show as a whole, as that would probably be closer to a 3.5, 4 stars, but just focusing on this season, it was a letdown. Comment below what your thoughts were on this season and if it actually did live up to your expectations. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time for more reviews.